All right, next up, we're going to read chapter 5 of Life Cycles. The title is Environments and Traits. Big question, how does the environment affect the traits of living things? The first vocab word that we're going to look at is environment. It says a surrounding area that contains living and non-living things. Flamingos are wading birds. These two are the same species, but they come from different environments. How can you tell? The color of the flamingo feathers is a trait that can change depending on what the flamingo eats. One flamingo has feathers that are bright pink. The other has feathers that are pale pink. These flamingos have been getting their food from different places. Their colors are different because of what the flamingo eats. Some environments contain more shrimp than others. The flamingo that lives in these areas will be darker pink than the other flamingos. This is how the environment can affect the color of the flamingo's feathers. Some traits can vary because of where an individual lives. Flamingo color traits are not completely inherited. A living thing's weight can be affected by its environment. There are many ways the environment can influence the traits of living things. Look at the cat in the picture. This indoor cat is fed a lot of food. The cat has certain traits that won't change much, such as its fur color and eye color, but the cat's weight is a trait that varies because of its environment. This trait of being this large is not inherited. Since this cat lives indoors, it does not hunt for its own food. It also does not jump, climb, or run as much as it would outdoors. The cat's owner provides more food than the cat needs. As a result, the cat has a high body weight. The cat's weight is a trait that varies because of its environment. Any animal that is given too much food and has too little exercise can become overweight. A macaque is a species of monkey. Its natural environment is in the jungles of Asia. Many macaque populations have found their way into human cities, though. I've seen them in movies, never in person. Monkeys in a jungle are very active, moving from tree to tree, but a city is a new environment for monkeys. Now they can find and eat food that people eat. These foods are not healthy for them. Monkeys that live in the city tend to weigh more than monkeys that live in the wild. Starting to think they're not in the United States, maybe other countries. Maybe the movies is just a thing in the United States. The living thing's behavior can be affected by the environment. You know that the environment can affect a living thing's physical traits. An animal's behavior also can be affected by the environment. Behavior is how animals act. Behavior patterns are traits. Some are inherited, and some can be the result of the environment. A meerkat is a small animal that lives in the deserts of southern Africa. Meerkats live in large groups. By living in a group environment, meerkats first learn and then teach others meerkats behaviors that help them survive. Certain meerkats look out for danger while others in the group search for food. Some individuals stand guard to keep the group safe. They look up into the sky for dangerous birds. If they see a predator bird, they make a warning sound. This behavioral trait keeps the food hunter meerkats safe. Meerkats burrow into the ground. Their burrows help them stay safe from predators and stay cool in hot environments. Prairie dogs. The prairie dog is another animal that has varying behavioral traits depending on the conditions of the environment. In prairie dogs we see in Minnesota. Prairie dogs are small rodents that burrow underground. Like meerkats, prairie dogs learn from living in large groups. Prairie dogs first learn and then teach others about what to eat and where to find food. Living in groups also helps young prairie dogs learn how to make burrows with connected tunnels. burrowing is a skill that helps them survive. Prairie dogs use tunnel systems for shelter and survival. Environment can affect a plant's traits. I've been guilty of that before. I'm getting better though. Plants need water to grow and survive. In a picture of potted plants, can you tell which plant got enough water and which one did not? Sometimes environments have dry seasons with very little water, or they have rainy seasons with lots of water. When an environment does not have enough water, it changes the traits of the plants that live there. The plants might dry out. They can turn brown, lose their leaves, and stop growing. They will no longer be as green and healthy as they once were. Too much water is not good for plants either. That was my mistake. An environment can get too much water during the season that is very rainy. Even though plants need water to live, too much water can make plants die. When the amount of water in the environment changes, it can change the physical traits of the plant in that area. When too much water stays in certain places, plant roots may not get enough oxygen. That is all for chapter 5.